So this back area is just getting a lot of erosion. It's strictly just because of the downspout drains. So this one right here, this one right here, that one right there, and these two, 1, 2, these are going to be tied in together, run with a pop-up into this pine straw bed. Those 3 are going to be run to 2 separate pop-ups into the pine straw bed as well. And we'll go through the details on how to do that. So first you're going to want to decide where you want to drain those downspouts to for this property. We're just going to be draining them into this lower pine straw bed and let it flow naturally into the woods. So once we figure that out, you want to mark it off with spray paint. How you're going to attach it, you want to get a nice straight line and have a clean work area. So we use fabric along the whole trench so we can put the soil right on top and get that nice straight line that we're looking for, especially when working for PVC or working with PVC pipe. So these 2 are going to attach into each other. So we use a fabric, makes it easy cleanup and keeps everything pretty clean. Then this area, this is a French drain that the builders installed, so we're actually going to tie this in as well. And this is why we use graded downspout filters. You'll see later in the video, because pine straw comes in here and you clog up the pipes real easy, and you don't want that if you're spending all the time getting this done. So this one's going to come around here and down the property line. So we found, we're working in North Carolina, real tough, hard clay. You can see it right there. So we found pickaxing it with the fat side down the entire trench, and then taking a smaller pickaxe, the pointy side, to just break that clay up and all the rocks, and then taking the trenching shovel and going in afterwards. The best way to get these trenches dug. Sometimes clay's soft enough or the soil's soft enough to just use one of these trenching shovels. Today's not the case, but you always can find different ways to do it fastest. This is just our way. So you typically have 2 options when you're doing drainage. The PVC right here, this is thin-walled PVC. There's no reason to really do the Schedule 40 unless you're doing it where it's going to be getting driven over a lot. But for residential foot traffic, it's not much to worry about. They also offer a blue sewer pipe, PVC. That's a little thicker, and that's even better. That one has 0 bend if you step on it. It's very, very good. And then there's this corrugated pipe. Has all these ridges in it. This is single walled corrugated. This is what most people use. You can get a double wall, which is good, but it's a lot harder to find, and typically that's not what people use. So simple test is right here. You can step on it, jump on it. It's not going to crush, and you're going to get a little bend here. But once it's underground, that bend's not going to happen. The blue thicker walled PVC, you won't see any of that bend. That's definitely the best. It's a little more expensive though. But if you go with this corrugated, with not much pressure, it crushes. And then you're stuck with a cracked, crushed piece, plus it pops holes in it real easy. It just gets clogged a lot faster. It also has these ridges that collect, allow sediment to settle, where the PVC is smooth-walled and sediment will just flow right through it. So I really recommend going with the PVC. It's not that much extra. It's a little bit more work. You have to make sure your lines are straight instead of weaving them, but it's definitely a lot better of a material compared to this corrugated that so many people use. Typically, I tell my customers this is a 5-year solution, while this is a lifetime solution. So using the PVC, you want to make sure you use primer and glue. So you want to make sure to prime both sides. Cover the entirety of the pipe on both ends. then you're gonna do the same thing with the glue. Get a good covering throughout the whole pipe, inside and out. You're gonna stick it in and give it a nice 45-degree turn. Hold it in for about 30 seconds. And they'll be locked in. You won't have any roots growing in there or the pipe coming unattached over time. And we're all set. So you can sod over the top or cut the sod and replace it. This customer chose not to because it does cost a little extra. Got the filter, it's running in. We tied in this corrugated foundation drain, tied this in, and then a little pop-up right here will flow down this slope. Over here, you can see it cleans up. It's only a thin strip, so really it does not make a big mess. And you got this pop-up, barely notice it with the pine straw. That ties in there and around here. And then down over here, this tees off to here. You can see that. Like I said, it's pretty thin. You can sod back on top. It's pretty easy to save sod, but it really does not cause that much damage. So this runs down here. And exits right here with a little pop-up to follow this slope.